Today I'm really excited to tell you about a new travel tripod from Three-Legged Thing called a Leo. Earlier this year I had an opportunity to go to CES and I happened to meet the owner of Three-Legged Thing, Danny. I then spent about 20 minutes talking to Danny about this new travel tripod, and I'll tell you what, I was blown away. I just couldn't wait to get my hands on one of these and see if all the things that Danny was telling me about actually translated when I was using the tripod myself. I want to start out by saying that this is a beautiful piece of kit. Every part of this tripod looks fantastic and feels extremely solid and well made. Let's start out with looking at a few basics. The Leo weighs at right under 3.2 pounds and measures at 13 inches in length. And believe it or not, this travel tripod has a load capacity of 66 pounds. As you would expect from a good travel tripod, it comes with counter-folding legs, and you may notice that the carbon fiber looks a little different. You'll notice that Three-Legged Thing doesn't glue stripes on this carbon fiber to make it look pretty. They use a very high-end Japanese carbon fiber that doesn't degrade or stress under load, and it doesn't delaminate in water like some lower-end options. Carbon fiber is porous, but Three-Legged Thing soaks it in kerosene prior to packaging to help give the legs a repellent quality and to stop them from being damaged by salt water. Let me go ahead and extend the legs. The Three-Legged Thing uses parallel twist locks made of a magnesium alloy, and they have 3M rubber pads glued right into them. This both looks really cool and gives you a really good grip, especially when it's cold outside or when the Leo gets wet. These parallel twist locks are a little bit larger than other ones that we've seen, but that actually really helps with the stability of the tripod. There's more tube above each section of the leg, which means that there's more overlap and then results in an overall more sturdy construction. To unlock the legs, all you need to do is undo the twist locks, extend, and then lock them back in. And then to put the leg back in, and you're good. I saw a review online of the Leo where someone said they had trouble locking the legs and that they kept coming out, and they said that they couldn't figure out how to lock the legs back in once they were retracted. And I'm not really sure what they were talking about. I was actually trying to figure out what could have given them problems, but ultimately I just couldn't figure it out. I mean, all you have to do to unlock it again is just like that, and there you go, and then put them back in. So this has worked great for me. I've been using the Leo for a few months now and I haven't had any problems with the legs. The legs can lock in 3 different positions. At its highest position, the Leo is 52 inches tall. And adding the AirHed switch, which is the ball joint mount that we're using, it's at 56 inches. At its lowest position, the tripod is basically flat on the ground. If you need to get your camera a little bit lower to the ground, you can actually remove the center column altogether. So you can unscrew the tri-mount plate, which I'll get back to a little bit later. Then take out this D-ring. And then mount the tri-mount plate directly onto the base. And you're good to go. If you like to do macro work, you're really gonna like this inverted center column. So stand it back up and remove the tri-mount plate. And this time, instead of mounting the center column the way it was before, I actually mount it from the bottom. And lock it back in place. this ring back on just for safety, and I like this safety feature because if I accidentally unlock this, the center column is not going to fall out. My camera is never going to hit the ground. And now I could actually mount my camera upside down. And of course I would extend the legs out and then extend them up so I have a lot of room to work right under the tripod. If you like to do macro work, a lot of times your subject is really low to the ground and it's difficult to get the camera to that height with a traditional tripod. Another nice thing is because this other end of the center column is threaded, you could actually mount a tether table on top of this and then work right from your laptop or iPad and not even have to worry about touching the camera. If you're shooting a lot in inclement weather, you might want to check out these heels or stilettos from Three Legged Thing. These are great for uneven or rocky terrain or even just on hard ground. They can be screwed right to the end of each leg, and with the inverted column, you can actually remove the head again and mount it on top. And you can then extend the center column down and use one of these at the bottom and then anchor the tripod right into the ground. And that gives you great stability. The Leo comes with a military grade canvas carrying bag, which is great for obviously for carrying the tripod with you. It also has some other uses. To get additional stability, you can remove the strap and then take one of these tools, which we'll get to in a minute, and fill this bag up with rocks. And then the center column has a D-ring at the bottom that you can attach the bag to, and that will weigh your tripod down. And with the tripod folded, you can actually take the strap and attach one side to the D-ring and the other side to the tri-mount plate, and then you can carry the tripod even without the carrying bag, which is just a really nice option. The tools is Three Legged Thing's multi-tool, and it has a coin key, which is practically or essentially a flathead screwdriver, which can be used to tighten the screw on the bottom of the quick release plate. It has a hex key that you can use to tighten and loosen the legs. And finally, and very important, it has a bottle opener, so you can crack open a beer and have a drink after your shoot. I want to talk for a bit about the AirHed Switch. The AirHed Switch is a beautifully machined ball head mount and has an Arca Swiss clamp with an easy switch release. Three Legged Thing uses Peak Design Capture compatible plates. They offer different size quick release plates, both with and without security pins that help prevent the plate from sliding off of the mount. I like these plates because you can put them right on top. You don't have to slide them from the back. And once you put them in and lock them into place, this thing is not going anywhere. And you can actually hear that the lock engages. And you can see this latch snapped back. So to open it, all you have to do is pull this forward, and then you can take the plate right off. Super simple. The Leo has a leveling bubble attached to the base, and I like the fact that the AirHed Switch also has one. So even if I can't level the tripod, I can very easily just level the top of this ball mount and I'm good to go. And you really have to see this to feel like how smooth this motion is. I've used many of these and this is definitely one of my favorites. And once I lock it in place, again, it's not going anywhere. On the back here, as you can see, there's a knob that you can tighten and then loosen if you want to pan. And I've actually used this for video and it gives me a very smooth pan. I know it wasn't designed for that, but it works. All right, so at this point, we've looked at it and it's a great travel tripod. You figure out, okay, so this is, I know what I'm getting, but guess what? There's more. You can actually unscrew one of the legs and it becomes a monopod. So now, right off the bat, it's a small monopod. All right, it's probably, I don't know how long it is. Well, it's like this long. If I wanted to add additional height to it, I can just remove the center column and then screw the monopod leg right into the center column. That gives me a little bit more height. And if I want even more height, I can extend the last section of the center column. And now I've got a great height for a monopod. And now, of course, this isn't a 7-foot monopod, but don't forget this came out of a travel tripod. So this is just a huge bonus. If you don't want to use this as a monopod, you can actually remove the head and the foot, or the foot, and you actually have a 1/4-20 on one end and a 3/8 thread on the other one, and you can use this as a mic boom or a selfie stick, whatever you want to do with it. Okay, let's look at this tri-mount plate. The tri-mount plate is a 3-legged thing patent and has several uses. You can use it to keep your tools clipped on so you don't lose it, which is what I use it for. I already showed you that if you want to carry it with the strap, you can clip the strap to here and then to this D-ring at the bottom, and then you don't have to use the carrying case. You can also use these rings to clip anything else that you want to store, so an extra battery or anything that you have with you that you don't want to keep on you can just clip on here and just have it accessible whenever you need it. A lot of times, if the mounting plate is circular, and so it's the same dimension as the mount head, and you want to unscrew the top, you'll notice the whole thing comes off. But because this plate extends out, I can always just hold it in place and then just unscrew the top, and then I can tighten that back on if I need to, but it's very easy to keep these two separate from each other. Now, if I want to shoot video, I can turn this into a makeshift video rig. So watch this. I'm gonna lock the leg there and then extend it. Now I can mount the camera and use the AirHed switch to level it out. And at this point, the sky's the limit. I can remove this monopod leg and mount an external monitor, or mount an external monitor on the end over here, and then use, because I keep these legs really tight, I can use these to actually pan. And if I want another point of contact, I can actually rest this against my shoulder. And this isn't a setup that's endorsed by 3-legged things. Actually, Danny showed me a different setup where the camera was a little bit lower. But I was playing around one day, and this thing is so modular and everything seems to fit together. And this actually worked for me, and I just shot some footage with it. It came out great. I used 5D Mark III, and because I keep the legs pretty stiff, I had no problems with this. This video probably ended up being longer than I expected, and that's simply because this travel tripod, I'm gonna actually just call it a travel tripod system, can do so much. You can really see just how much thought went into the design and the development of this tripod, and as a user, I really appreciate that. And I seriously can't overemphasize how impressed I am with the build quality. Every movement of every piece is so smooth. It's really nice. I put anything from a 5D Mark III with a 2470 to a C100 Mark II with a 70-200, and the Leo performed great with both. If you're in the market for a new travel tripod, I would highly recommend that you check out the Leo from 3-legged thing. There are cheaper options out there, but you know what I always say, buy it nice or buy it twice. I'm very confident that this tripod system will serve me well for years, and definitely believe that it's worth the price. I'll put some links in the descriptions to the 3-legged thing website so you can get more information about this tripod and buy one if it's something that you're interested in. If you have any questions about the Leo or the AirHed Switch or any of the other accessories that I reviewed today, please put them in the comment section below. If this video was useful, please help support our channel by giving it a thumbs up and subscribing. And remember to check us out on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook at Tech Gear Talk. See you soon.